Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And we are The Carbonation Conversation, The Witcher Season 2, Episode 6, Dear Friend.
Dear Friend.
As always, shout out to Mo. What you're hearing in the background as far as audio editing and music production is always brought to you by Mo Beats, and we really appreciate it as always. And if you're ever looking for something in those fields, definitely hit Mo up in the description below. And also, let's do a shout out to Chicago, Illinois for holding us down with all these nice downloads.
Chicago.
As well as all of our new listeners. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to
thank you guys.
Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. So let's get down. Let's talk about The Witcher Episode 6. Happy
New Beer.
Yep. Drinking some Bohemia here. And I'll start it up. So I figure, because it was a little bit of the shorter of the stories, we can talk about Francesca and Frangilla's story first.
The how it started off.
Yeah, definitely. They're her friend Francesca and Frangilla. They're talking. It's funny because Frangilla looking all like Cinderella, from Brandy and shit.
All right.
From that movie. But yeah, they're talking, and she can tell that Frangilla's, she's a little nervous.
Yeah, she's not the same ever since Kahir came back.
And she's just trying to boost her ego, trying to say, hey, you are the one that liberated us. They see your face.
Exactly. She needs to show Kahir that she's basically kind of the one in charge right now, because the elves are the ones seeing her.
Exactly. And she is kind of hitting that, we gonna follow you, wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need to, he can disappear. Because now, since a lot of the Nilfgaardian guards were killed during Sodden, it definitely seems like the elves outnumber the Nilfgaards where they are in Sintra.
That's probably where you see in Sintra. Seems like it.
Mm-hmm. And so Frangilla and actually Kahir, they actually end up talking. Yeah. This is probably the first time that they're actually having a discussion.
Yeah, he shows up shaving, all back in his gear, looking like good old
I had
Kahir.
Hope for him. I really did.
Oh, no. Hell no.
Yeah, he's not gonna. I thought maybe he was gonna have a turnaround when he got back and saw it, especially what he experienced in the north. I thought so. Nope, like you said, he's back in that original get up.
He came back with vengeance in a way,
And he's telling Frangilla, like, hey, I understand what you had to do, we needed, people to fight for us. He's like, I get it. I really do. But now it's time to focus on the main goal.
Getting Ciri.
Yeah, and as he's talking, I believe this is the scene, correct me if I'm wrong, it could be the later scene after this, but Dara ends up overhearing about this conversation. And I remember last episode I was like, damn, how are they going to make sure Dara actually spies for them? Because he's an elf. Apparently that same owl that Dykstra was talking to, drinking and shit, is literally
who he reports
Dara.
to, right?
Yeah, and he is basically like, oh shit, I didn't realize that basically they wanted Ciri.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was with her like
exactly. He's like, what the hell?
Boy, has he grown as well.
I know, right? You don't look like no dirty rat boy no more.
I know, exactly. In the meantime, I found out something that I didn't realize, because Francesca is talking to Filavandrio.
Yeah, Filavandrio.
I
was surprised you got that.
And he asked her, he's like, I doubted you at first, but it seems like everything is good's been going on here.
Yeah.
Up until the point where
Kahir came back. He is kind of worried, and she's basically I just want you by my side. That's what I need you to do.
Yeah, and I didn't know this. That's his baby?
They never confirm it, but
like, hey, you know,
they never confirmed it. But I'm saying yes. You know what I mean? Because he's there with her.
I could see, you know, the wife being, you know, because my wife, you know, I love you, boo boo, but you kind of strong-minded and being like, this is what we're going to do, you know, type of thing. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize that, but you know, and Felivandria does have a confrontation with Cahir.
Yeah, he goes basically out to the train where they're training and stuff like that with the other elves, and Cahir shows up like, I'm going to show you what a real warrior is, that type of thing. And
he ends up fighting with Dara.
Right, puts on a demonstration with Dara. Basically, actually, Dara does decently, defending himself.
I was actually shocked about that.
So Cahir just goes and kicks his ass down.
Yeah, I was actually pretty shocked about that. And one thing I did like, Cahir was like, you fight like a fairy, and then Felivandria comes up behind him with the knife. He said, you couldn't be, because your kind killed them all. I was like, ooh.
Right.
And then you hear from the window, Francesca's having the child.
The baby's coming early.
Yeah, exactly. And so we see the birth.
Says you're lucky.
We see the birth, and at first, you know, during the birth, you know, once the baby is out, it's in the arms of Frangilla, and at first the baby isn't breathing, and you know, they're thinking the worst because Francesca hasn't been able to actually birth a live child. She's always had, I'm assuming, stillborn.
Yeah, it's the first full-born elf in centuries.
Yes, yeah. And basically, it's like the most beautiful thing, because after the baby takes the breath, you know, she gives the baby to Francesca, and then Frangilla goes out into the hall, and all the elves are like waiting to hear the news. And she's like, remember this night? This night was like the first elf born. Drink. That really was cool. I really loved that.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
And then Cahir and Frangilla meet a second time during the celebration, because she asks him, like,
she joins Cahir, they're basically overlooking Sintra.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what she says. Like, have you ever seen people so happy? And his response was, not since the usurper was overthrown, or something like that.
And so, and I was just like, what a sour moment.
Exactly. And then he pulls out a note, basically saying that the white flame will be here at any day.
Now, here's the thing. I guess I'm just a stupid idiot here. I thought the white flame was more of like the Lord of Light, like a god. I didn't know that King Amir was a white flame, because when he set the letter down, she responded, "Oh, did the white flame write it?" I thought she was being sarcastic, like,
no.
Oh, you know,
that's what they call it.
I had no idea that was actually King Amir too. So I was like, oh, holy shit! I thought, you know, because it was some of the shit that obviously he couldn't control, and she would always be like, if the white flame wants it, it will happen. Like, you know, referencing him to God. Right, you know what I'm saying? So I always thought,
apparently they feel like he is some kind of godlike king, if they're praising him like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true too. It was weird when I finally realized. I was like, oh, holy shit. And we hear the deathless mother after, you know, Cahir walks away all proud and shit, saying that the white flame is returning.
Yeah, first they will take your power, then they'll take your freedom.
Exactly. And so the only thing that's left to say with Frangilla is, I'm pretty sure she ain't gonna let that happen. She got multiple elves. It's the firstborn elf. I'm pretty sure some shit is going to go down these last 2 episodes. Ito's kind of giving me that suspicious look over there, like, please don't go further. Go next story. And yeah, that really concludes, I guess you can say, the story of Sintra. I believe we covered everything when it comes to that. And meanwhile, as far as, I guess before we go on Gerard, I will like to try to put Carol Morin's story in their own little mini story with Vesemir and Triss.
Okay.
You know, he's seeing how he regretted,
of course,
you know, trying to turn Ciri
basically
into,
feel like he pushed Geralt away as well.
And
so
it also
like
does,
shit.
it also does seem like Triss, she's a little bit sad that she may have snapped a little bit too
well,
hard.
She's kind of scared. I feel she tells him like her blood is something different. This mutant is more powerful than you think with this with her blood in it.
Yep, and they are surprisingly attacked.
Yeah, his medallion starts to shake, and then he just falls out. Like he feels somebody there, and he falls out. Next, you know, what's his name?
It's like I've seen 3 people pronounce it 3 different ways. I see Rhinus.
Yeah, Rhinus.
Yeah, Rhinus, right? Okay.
Rainsy.
Yeah,
I forget.
Some shit.
Rience.
Yeah.
Rience. Rience. We just say Rience, okay?
Yeah. He basically attacks him, and I actually thought Vesemir was done for when he was giving it to him. I was like, holy shit! Like,
and then Trish basically saves him.
And what they find out is after they are tending to Vesemir's wounds, first the other Witchers are pissed.
Yeah.
They're like, you know,
they want to blame her. She's
exactly.
He ain't one of us.
Happy New Beer.
Happy New Beer. That he is not one of us.
Yeah, fire magic is forbidden. They don't fuck around with that. The Brotherhood. And what she does notice though is that Riance took the mutagen.
Right. They're like, at least he didn't get anything, and they're like, well, they found out that he took the mutagen.
And so now Triss is freaking out. She waits till Vesemir wakes, and she tells him A, he took the mutagen, and B, I gotta go. And she immediately goes to
Saya,
and she tells Saya about, you don't understand what's going on. I gotta basically fill you in on the last couple of days, and that's where we pretty much leave that story at. Now, the main core of the story.
Well, we don't forget about Istrid.
Yes, he does have a story too.
He went to the law firm.
Yes.
Was it Kodrihinger and Fern and Fen? Kodrihinger and Fen, and they're kind of like a weird, odd couple, but apparently they know everything.
Exactly. He does give them like a nice little pouch full of coins, and he basically asks him. He was like, "So, do you know anything about a girl, a monolith, and a
witcher?"
A witcher.
Yeah.
And it was just like, "Oh yeah, wow, who wants to know?" As soon as he put that coin on the table, they start to tell him. And I'm definitely glad that you mentioned that, because is Ithaline's prophecy the Wild Hunt, or are those two separate? Okay,
those are separate. Ithaline's prophecy is basically what Ciri is.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
But I think the power of Ciri can be towards good or bad. The good way is Ithaline's prophecy. The bad way is with the Wild Hunt. They want her too, apparently. That's what they're saying, is his power apparently can be good for good or evil.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because Istra,
so everybody now wants her ass.
Yes, because Istra finds out, I believe it was in the previous episode 5 when Trish went into Ciri's mind. Yeah. The elder who was basically dying.
The elven mage, Laura Doran.
Yeah, Laura Doran.
Yeah. She basically died in childbirth, giving birth to I forget which one, but
I believe maybe
series. No,
grandmother.
Maybe Fiona. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyways, they basically had Kohinger and Fen telling him about that. I guess they misinterpreted some stuff, and that the elves built a warrior against humans.
Yeah, because at first it was like they first thought it was a weapon.
Right. It was some kind of weapon, but it was a warrior that they built.
Exactly. And this warrior is just supposed to, wreak havoc on behalf of the elven race, I'm assuming, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So, but when Laura Doran was dying at childbirth, she cursed that her curse will hound descendants till the 10th generation.
Yeah, and that's why they have no records after Fiona And like,
right.
Calanthe.
Well, Calanthe, I think it was really after Calanthe or something, because they're like, why would Calanthe want to hide her elven side? You know what I mean? But I guess you know.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, the one other thing, I am going to go talk about Ryan's really quick. He does go back to Lydia as well, and they have a little conversation.
Yeah, he comes with the mutagen and is like, hey, I want to renegotiate. I want to meet whoever's in charge.
I am so interested to know. I'm pretty sure it's fucking Stratum, poor bitch ass. But,
no, I kind of figured who it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the same time, but I don't know if you want me to say, because at that time, I kind of had an idea when I was watching it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was the motherfucker with the owl.
Okay. Well,
Because he was telling that king or that guy is in charge about the situation going on.
Exactly.
So to me, I automatically, it's got to be him.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's not Nilfgaard, you know what I mean?
It's definitely a Dijkstra.
Exactly.
And all of them. Yeah. You make that, but does make a lot of sense. And I think, can we talk about Geralt and Ciri's story, or is there anything else?
That's it.
I just want to make sure.
Now it's up to them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Ciri is pissed as they're leaving. One of the things Vesemir does say when Triss says, where do you think they're going? He does say, I don't know, but if I had a bet, it would probably be Ninica. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm assuming they're going there. And basically, it's a school.
Well, Ninica is the lady.
Oh, Ninica. Yes, I'm sorry. Ninica is the lady. And so we assume that that's where they're heading because it automatically you see them walking.
They're taking them to it's a temple school, and that's where he went to school when he was her age. But before they got there,
they're attacked.
They're attacked by that new monster that came out of the monolith when Geralt and Istrid were together. That new monster that flew away. Yeah, that's the one that came back, and he ends up killing it. Of course, that was a nice kill and everything. Visually. Yeah,
and they said that this is the first time Ciri seems to actually be more involved in the battles because they do set a trap for the thing.
Yeah, he kills it, but he ends up killing Roach.
Yeah.
The monster, and it's like, oh,
R.I.P. And I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna heal him. No, we see the big ass slash.
Yeah, can't do that. Like, damn. So he had to put him out of his misery. But she told him that I was able to feel him, and she didn't feel threatened. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a
So clearly it seems like maybe the monsters that's been coming out of the monoliths may actually just want to take her. Maybe just take her back there. Istrid has already talked to us about the whole conductors and maybe it's a portal.
That's how I feel.
Like
world. Maybe in order to make this warrior, they had to combine the worlds, like the power from the other world where the monsters came from, and that's why she's able to use the monoliths and bring the monsters over. Like that's what I was coming to conclusion to. They still haven't explained all that, but I feel it's something with that. Like in order to create that warrior that they wanted, they had to use the power from the other worlds or something.
Yeah, that could.
You know what I mean?
Man, I have no fucking clue. I would tell you that I've been trying to think of different ways. I was like, well, maybe. No, that just sounds a little bit too out there. But yeah, they end up at the school, and the thing about this school is anybody can go to this school. It's
like no war zone, no fighting. You got to check your weapon in at the door.
Exactly, so he automatically goes in there with no weapons. And at first, Ninica talks to Ciri. She tells Ciri that, this is a place where you can kind of harness your chaos and learn some things. Ciri ends up meeting a nice little boy. And basically, she has already, started to kind of be given lessons. And what she's given is called, I wrote this shit down, it's called a orbiculum. It looks like a ball and chain.
Yeah, she sees one floating in the air and wondering what it is.
What the fuck is that?
It's funny, and the boy she's with, you could tell he's like a virgin or something, all nervous and stuttering.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, are you okay? It makes a reference. It was like a sexual reference. I forget the actual joke, but meanwhile, while she's, getting used to it, and getting used to the new area,
the school,
she's been bouncing around. basically every fucking place, to be honest. Gerald is talking to Ninika, and basically she's like, bro, you got your goddamn hands full. A, she's the princess of Central.
Right.
B, she's the key to this destiny ass prophecy.
Right.
And she's just like, you and her, like, you know, basically she seemed like she was saying, your love for her and her love for you isn't enough. You're gonna need to find out what the fuck is missing in order to truly help this girl. You know, especially since she was speaking. She was like, you heard her talk about Ithalin's prophecy? Like, she brought that up.
She said those actual words?
Exactly.
He's like, yeah.
So, you know, it was, you know, she's basically really concerned for Gerald. She's just like, yeah, you know, because here's that destiny shit again. It has its ways.
But Gerald's good old Gerald, where he was like, destiny can't control me. You know?
I know.
Fuck.
I know. It is so funny how they've switched the fucks from Geralt to Yennefer. I don't think I've even heard Geralt say it.
I've heard it.
You've heard it? Because Yennefer be, you know, all of a
she
sudden
be on that too. Hell yeah.
Fuck.
You always said more because she's hot when she does it.
Oh yeah, man. She is so damn pretty. Happy New Year. How happy New Year to that.
So then Geralt's in his room and he hears a door open. He thinks it's Ciri, and who is it? Yennefer.
I know.
And they just stare at each other, walk up and kiss each other.
And it's so funny because I have to ask, like, how do they keep meeting? And so I thought of one or two things. Obviously, the clearest answer is the Darkless, the Deathless Mother. You know, it's just like, oh, I know where Ciri is. Let me put you a portal to this place.
Yeah.
But also, the goddamn the genie wish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're always going to be intertwined. You know what I'm saying?
Or it could just be destiny.
Yeah.
She said, you're missing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey,
so,
hey.
You know?
Hey, I like what you did there. But yeah, so they make out a little bit. They joke.
Yeah, the series interrupts.
Yeah.
So he introduces Yennefer to Ciri, and Ciri's like, "Oh, you're Yennefer. I've heard much about you."
Yeah, she's like, "I even dreamed about you." And then
she's like, "Oh, dreams are what, an omen?"
Yep. Yeah, she was like a powerful omen. And she even tells Yennefer that Geralt called her one of the most powerful mages he's ever seen.
She was flattered.
I know. She's with no powers. I don't know what they've done to make her look so innocent and hot at the same time this season. Yeah. Because obviously when she had the powers, she just looks strong.
And that's the thing. That's what it is. At the same time, it's acting. You know what I mean? It's like you got to act one way with powers, confident. Like I'm ruling the world. Now I'm like, I don't have my powers. You know what I mean? Like that's just, you could tell she's a good actor, mainly when it comes to stuff like that.
Exactly. She's doing awesome. I love her in this second season. So
she ends up telling Geralt about Rience. That he's came looking for him, and Geralt's like, oh, he ain't come looking for me.
Yeah, and she tells him about Jaskier also, and then that new hot single.
Burn! Butcher, burn!
Oh, but yeah, and as they're talking about who Rience was looking for, Ciri, she can't sleep. She goes to see Ninika.
Well, yeah, even before that, like Geralt, like can sense her heartbeat. Going crazy, and starts questioning her, like, you okay, and shit like that. You know, he could tell something's up with her. You know what I mean? And then
that's when Ciri talks to Ninika.
Right.
And I didn't, on the side note, I didn't think Yennefer was gonna go through it after she thought, with Ciri and Dra. I didn't really think so. But anyways,
she wants that chaos.
Yeah, man. And Ninika and Ciri are talking while they're lighting candles. She's saying R.I.P. Mouse Sack, R.I.P. Roach.
Exactly.
And she's just basically talking to Ninika for a little bit, and Ninika's just saying like, you have the power to change this, because she is questioning why no one told her anything about her fucking past.
Nothing, right?
And and Ninika's just like, maybe they were just trying to protect you type of thing, but you have the ability to make change. Technically you're a human with elder blood, so you're like a quarter elf, I'm assuming, right? So you could technically bring together the world, what I'm saying? They hate each other, I guess, type of shit. So she could be the liberator, I guess you could say.
Like you said, the weapon for good or evil. It depends.
With great power comes great responsibility. Check out our Spider-Man No Way Home movie review.
As soon as Ninika leaves, and Siri basically finds a book, and it falls and happens to open to Ithalin's prophecy.
And so they're really, really emphasizing this prophecy, and basically, Siri's she can't catch a fucking break, because as soon as she's starting to read a little bit of the book,
she sees blood.
Yeah,
follows the blood and finds the boy that was like showing her around.
I know,
all bloodied on the floor.
I know. I thought he was dead, but he moved a little bit.
He moved
a little bit, and then it was.
He's not gonna die a virgin.
And then you see Ryan's with his gang.
Ryan shows up with 3 guys.
Lydia did give him a gang. I forget what their name is, but they have weapons in this school. Geralt ends up using his powers, and Geralt and Yennefer ends up coming into the area to meet
because they grab Ciri, and then they up come to save her.
Now, this was probably one of my favorite fight scenes.
Okay.
I loved, obviously, no weapons, just straight ass kicking.
Right.
I loved when the guy was on top of him and he forced him up, and the guy jumped up and he landed on his own. So I was like, oh, that was fucking cool. Meanwhile, Yennefer and Ciri they lock themselves in a room, but the room has no exits, and Ryan's is literally right behind them using the fire chaos magic to try to burn the door down, basically. Ciri asks what everybody asks to Yennefer, can you use your powers to get us out of here? But Yennefer hasn't told anybody that she doesn't have the power. But what they notice is the orbiculum, whatever, is glowing.
So she's like, I don't have my powers. That's got to be you.
And what she does is she gives Ciri some Elden words to say
to open a portal, and they go through the portal.
Well,
before they go through the portal, after Geralt knocks out the 3 guys, this guy's Riaz is using the fire to burn the door down, but he ends up throwing Geralt throws an axe at him, and then he portals himself out of there. And that's when Geralt goes to the door, which has a hole in it, and notices the girl's going through the portal.
And he looks at Yennefer and he goes, don't do this. Because he knows. And she's just like, yeah, I have to. And basically goes through. So now we're wondering if they're just going to transport to the cabin. Are they just going to go right to the cabin? Or is it where Ciri
that's what
wants to go?
She's the one that opened it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, maybe she's going to be like in fucking Centra. Oh, it just popped in my fucking head right now. Obviously, you would think that maybe it's just the safest place she thinks in her mind. Or Kaer Morhen. Could be one of those. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire episode here. And I am so interested with these
till the next episode.
I was just about to say, I am so interested. And I'll be reviewing that by myself, but then you're going to come back.
It's up to you if you want to wait for me or not.
Oh, okay.
It's because, to me, episode 7 is the best episode of the season.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, we can
that's
definitely
totally up if you want to
wait,
but...
Yeah, I'm totally down. Yeah, we can finish the series out. It's only 2 episodes left, so yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Happy new bit of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a drink. I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, comment, hit us up below. Peace. We love you.